Now, let's take the very first part, which is the mouth. This is where it all begins. Now, the mouth actually receives food. It chews this food, mixes up with saliva, and then the digestion process begins. Now, in dating or in a relationship also, this is the first stage. We're talking about the stage of the first words, the first attraction, the first impression, This first, let's look at Proverbs 18:21. It says that the power of life and death, they are in the tongue, talking about the utterance. Colossians 4 verse 6 also tells us that our conversation should be seasoned with grace as children of God. So how you talk, how you pass the message of I'm interested in you across, how you introduce yourself when you're talking about the relationship is very, very important to both gender, male or female. Because if the foundation is filled with lies, with lust and empty words, it cannot be digested into something that is godly. For example, someone who starts a relationship with baby, I cannot live without you. Of course, you know that that's a big lie. I cannot live without you. Why can't you live? You've been living before you came across me. So those are exaggeration that must be given them attention to. Now, the next phase here is after the mouth, you talk about the esophagus. Now, the esophagus is nothing but the pathway where the food passes. The esophagus does not process food. No, it just moves it from the mouth down to the stomach. In the same way, in a relationship, this represents the transition stage. It's not leaving the talking stage to the connecting stage. Amos 3:3 says, can two work together except they be agreed? Not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. So that talking stage must not go into the pathway, that is the transition stage. Some people are meant to just pass through quickly. Don't force every admirer into your heart, my dear girl child. Just because someone bought you food or this person bought you airtime doesn't mean that they should become, someone you should spend the rest of your life with. So you must have this understanding that from the mouth stage, it goes to the pathway, which is the esophagus, which is just the transition stage. Now, it's not everybody that started from the mouth stage that must get to this transition stage. Now, when you leave the mouth to the esophagus, then the next stage is the stomach. Now, the stomach is where things are broken down. Yes, this is the breaking things down stage. You permit me to use that word. Now, the stomach uses acid and enzymes to break food into, usable forms. In a relationship, this is the testing and the refining stage. This is where the real character show up. Now, James chapter 1 verse 3 said, the testing of your faith produces what? Perseverance. And Proverbs 27 verse 17 says that iron sharpeneth iron. So a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. Now, relationships are tested under pressure. So if someone only loves you when things are easy, but disappears when challenges arise, that relationship cannot, be a fruitful relationship. It cannot nourish your destiny, not at all. So be very, very wise and watchful. There are many young people who enter into relationships in school, but when there is period of exam, finances, or family pressure come, the truth shows. You can't be having somebody, you can't be in a relationship with somebody as a student in school and you don't have the time to study your book. That is a very unhealthy relationship. And so we'll move on to the next stage. So the next part is the small intestine. The small intestine is synonymous with absorption. Here, nutrients are absorbed into the bloodstream. That which has been extracted, the usable nutrients, they are absorbed into the bloodstream. Now, in relationship, this is where you start absorbing values, character, and habits from your partner. 1 Corinthians 15:33 say, do not be deceived. Evil communication, they corrupt good manners. At this stage, if the relationship have come this far, there are bound to be influence, because Proverbs 13 verse 20 says that he who walks with the wise will automatically become wise. So what are you absorbing from that relationship? Is it holiness? Is it sin? Is it encouragement? Is it distraction? Remember, like I mentioned, you can't be in a relationship with somebody as a student, an examination period, you are busy cooking beans and dodo. It's very unhealthy. Remember, you become what you are fed on. So if your partner encourages you to miss church, he encourages you to cheat, he encourages you to tell lies, that is exactly what you are absorbing, and it will show in your spiritual life, my dear girl child. Then from the small intestine, we move on to the large intestine, and the large intestine is synonymous with elimination of waste removal. Now this large intestine removes waste that the body does not need. So in a relationship, this is can be synonymous with letting go, discarding toxic traits, and walking away from wrong relationship. By the time you're beginning to sense that you are being influenced negatively, at this phase you have to let go. You must let go. Hebrews 12:1 says you should lay aside every weight and sin which easily beset us. So not everything or everybody that belongs in your life. Elimination is as important as absorption. So learn to let go of wrong relationships before they poison your destiny. A girl who keeps forgiving repeated, negative behaviors in the name of I love him and he love me. It's like someone who has refused to use the toilet. Eventually the whole system will collapse. So the large intestine is synonymous with removal of waste. So if you continue to condone and you refuse to let go, what happens? You may not be able to continue it. And the next phase is from the large intestine. We'll talk about the livers and the pancreas. These are synonymous with filtration and balancing. If I was to call them the filters and the balancers. The liver actually filters toxins. Yes, it filters the toxins, while the pancreas balance your sugar level. So in a relationship, this represents spiritual discernment and emotional balance. Spiritual discernment and emotional balance. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23 said, above all else, guard your heart, for out of it are the issues of life. Not every sweet word is healthy. You need discernment through prayer, through counsel, and the word of God. So just because someone says, God told me that you are my wife, doesn't mean God really said you are his wife. You must learn to test every spirit as a child of God. Learn to test every spirit. And so in conclusion, a healthy digestive system equates a healthy relationship. So not everything that enters you should stay away. Some things they nourish, others they actually cause harm. So elimination is just as important as absorption. So balance and discernment, they will keep you alive and they will keep you very, very healthy. 1 Corinthians 6:12 says that all things are lawful unto me, but not all things are expedient. I will not be brought under the power of any of these ones. So a healthy relationship is like a healthy digestive system, my dear girl child. It should nourish your life and it should not drain your life. Having said all that, my dear girl child, talk to me. What are you actually chewing on in your current relationship? What are you chewing in this relationship? So what are those things that you need to also eliminate in that relationship? Are you observing values that actually aligns with the word of God in that relationship? Are you filtering with discernment before you say, yes, I do? All of these are important questions that you should ask yourself. I hope you will remember today's video and always tell yourself that as healthy as you desire that your digestive system should be, in the same vein, your relationship should also be that healthy. I remain your girl child advocate, Dr. Mrs. Precious Omoro. Do have a very wonderful time. Thanks for giving me your time and remain ever blessed. Don't forget to follow us. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to be a healthy part of our growing community on our YouTube channel, our Facebook, our TikTok, and even on Instagram. Do have a wonderful week.